Hello and welcome to TI22, my little detailing and PPF channel where I tell you about the cars we've had in through our workshop. Today's a bit of a different one. I'm going to tell you all about this Supra that you can see in this picture, which came to us after a PPF install at another PPF install shop. That was the after picture. This is the before state. So really this is like a part one. This is how it arrived at us. This is actually a video we took literally after the customer dropped the car off, just so really we could document the condition of the vehicle when it turned up. The reason I'm putting it up online, I have the customer's permission to put it up here, and really I sort of feel like it just opens up a conversation about what we would call, there are some defects in PPF which we would say are acceptable, and there are some defects in PPF which we would say are not acceptable. And there are quite a few, as you've probably already seen on this, there are quite a few on this which we would say were not acceptable, and are things that we would not like to see on installs that we have leave our shop. So this is part one of this video, and then part two will be the walk around video of after we had removed this PPF installation and redone it to our sort of standards. So there are a few things. There you go. You can see that was the sort of proof with my sort of witness guy to have a look around this with me. So this was a PPF install that was done locally, not with what it appears to be, not with what we would call patterns. So how we do PPF installs is we pre-cut everything on a big plotter. We've got a £6,000 plotter here which we can download a pattern from, and that will then print off the pattern for the vehicle, and we can then apply it to the vehicle. This car was not done like that, it would appear. It was just done, the company had just bought a roll of film and put it on and tried to cut the sort of shape of the car out of it. You can see that lifting in that well there. And from the second the customer picked the car up, really he was not very happy with it. We did suggest at the time that the customer take it back and try and work things out with the original installers. However, as you can guess and as you can completely understand, having looked at this install, he was not even confident that they would be able to do that and that there wasn't any damage under the vehicle. So you can see really the principal problems are it's just lifting in so many areas really. It's not been trimmed that well. As you can see, it's been trimmed to an edge. You can see that gap at the back of the bonnet. These Supras are quite interesting because they're bigger than a roll of film is. So there's only a couple of companies, Expel, that we install PPF for. We're a licensed installer for Expel. They do a bigger roll, which means that you don't end up with that little edge at the back of the film, more lifting there. Weirdly that bottom of the door bit had been done, but the sills, which are the more chip prone pieces, had not been done. Hopefully this doesn't make you too sick. I think now we're just going to pop the bonnet so you can have a look at the wraps and that edge of the bonnet a bit more, because normally what we would do on a bonnet is wrap it probably somewhere around ½ an inch just to make sure that it's secure underneath. There you go, that's quite hand cut. That's definitely been cut with a knife rather than a machine, and you can see how that edge is lifting because it's not been left long enough, so it can't tuck under the edge of the bonnet. Another one there that's lifted principally because the wrap was too small, and there's nothing there to anchor it on underneath. And it's the very similar story all over the whole front end really. You can see there the two bits popping up at the end. All of these edge bits not amazingly sat there. Top of the bumper peeling. Do have a look at all these bits on the after video, which I'll post up in a couple of days, so probably by the time you watch this there'll be an after video for you to watch, and this is just literally documenting how the car came in. As we finished this, just checking there for knife marks. Luckily, actually I have to say, we couldn't find any knife marks once we pulled the rest of the film off and had a really good look around. We couldn't find any lasting damage to the vehicle underneath, thank goodness. just really lots of film falling off. Wasn't a great film. It was quite a thin film. Certainly wasn't an XPEL film. We're the only XPEL installer in Wales. This was done elsewhere in Wales, so not an XPEL film. And actually, interesting, when it came off, it was quite yellow as well. It was noticeable how much colour it had robbed out of the colour of the paint. So that is just about the end of this walk around video, guys. Be sure to check out part 2, where I sit down and tell you about the install. And there is a walk around of it after we had finished. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you're not subscribed already. Thank you, guys.